source of credit for power coins. The deployment of S-24 fighter bombers and the hypersonic funds with demand and more fabrication and now firmly improving its air force anymore.
Times launched from an aircraft. Gliding mines and the minefield deployments by themselves,
Sponsored Islam Already.
this allows them to mine heavy waters beyond the range of air defense.
Sponsored
Finally,
Islam
the
Already.
second option is the ADF-160 Bell autonomous vehicles.
For the first time since November, Brent oil prices have risen over $90 per barrel. As per the OPEC Plus countries extend production restrictions to help stabilize the international oil market. The OPEC Plus members, Saudi Arabia and Russia, extended their unilateral oil production cuts by another 3 months. According to Saudi Arabia's statement, it would maintain its production cutback of 1 million barrels per day through December. This action will maintain production at its current 7 years low level of roughly 9 million barrels per day. In agreement with Riyadh, Russia said it would reduce shipments by 300,000 barrels per day until the end of the year. Brent oil rose over 1.5% to a high of $90.37 a barrel after the action by Riyadh and Moscow. Recent gains in prices may largely be attributed to reduced production in fact, from Saudi Arabia and Russia. However, Saudi Arabia's action has been criticized by major oil-consuming countries. They are concerned that economic recovery might be jeopardized in an increase in inflation. As central bankers try to assess whether or not they have been successful in slowing the price increases, a rebound in one of the world's most essential commodities may make their job more difficult. Now, Riyadh decided to take a mostly unilateral move to maintain prices, since most members of the alliance were already facing production losses, underinvestment, and operational constraints. The Saudis have had to spend a lot of money to protect their market. As a result of declining sales, the International Monetary Fund sharply reduced its growth forecast for Saudi Arabia. Oil at $100 per barrel would be necessary to fund Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's ambitious spending programs.
U.S. the deadliest aside from the Rapid Dragon is the Tsar Bomba.
The British countries are reporting some impressive gains on the Eastern Front. However, all of these are placed.
Over
The defense expert added that the Ukrainian troops are now mounting some in their self-defense. According to Ukraine's Deputy Defense Minister, the Ukrainian troops have reached a few square kilometers of land around Bakhmut. It also reported certain unspecified gains in the Zaporizhzhia region. The Ukraine case has in fact taken back about 0.7 square kilometers of territory around Bakhmut. Here, the start offensive, Russia has not confirmed Ukraine's gains.
Megaton capacity.
But the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky whispered this to in Eastern Donetsk region. Zelensky in fact presented medals to soldiers at a number of different sites. And Zelensky also said that it was important to speak with soldiers and express support for
World War II.
Meanwhile, Russia's downed the Ukrainian ground forces in Moscow and all the Ukrainian peninsula.
The fallout
The defense ministry said that the drones were targeting Moscow to start their counter-offensive.
27
Ukraine has in fact Kremlin-controlled Crimean peninsula
diameter of about 7.
The deployment treated heavy shelling has resulted in injuries to just about 4 civilians at the residential area. The Russian installed local mayors named the shelling on the Ukrainian forces.
Carried Tsar Bomba. The bomb had a special parachute to slow it down, and the plane could fly away from the explosion safely. Andre
Doctor, we got the end this morning. The American youth might be returning to British soil after 15 long years, and Russia is not happy about it. My colleague Shivit with the download.
Thanks, Aisha. Love was taken from here. Russia and US, as we all know, we are sliding into times that we have seen in the past, and at a critical geopolitical juncture, fears of a Cold War, I'm sure the youth call it Cold War 2.0, those fears remain present. In the latest, Russia has warned of an escalation if American nuclear weapons return into British soil. Now, this, as some recent reports have revealed the possibility of this happening. US deployed its nuclear weapons in Europe during the height of the Cold War, but the number has significantly dropped since then. However, the latest revelation has definitely urged Russia, which warns of an imbalance in the region, to make the US move ahead with this. Now, firstly, let's go through what the recent reports are talking about. The Federation of American Scientists, which monitors US nuclear activity, recently reported that the US Air Force budgetary documents imply that it is going to re-establish its nuclear weapons mission in the UK.
Around 700 pounds.
Now, these documents mention the construction of a surety dormitory at the Royal Air Force Lakenfield base. Surety, it's a military term, it's jargon that is commonly used to refer to nuclear safety and security. Now, the Federation of American Scientists report reveals that the construction of the facilities scheduled to begin in June 2024. That is essentially what Russia is complaining about now. They do not want to see this happen. And it is expected to be completed by the end of February 2026. The plan is very much laid out. The blueprint is ready. Now, let's tell you more about this royal base where nukes would return after nearly 15 years. At least 110 US nuclear bombs were stored at the base until 2008. Now, it is some 100 kilometers from UK's capital and is situated near the country's east coast, holding strategic importance for the US. It is that close to the UK capital. Although the site is primarily used by the Royal Air Force, the British Air Force, RAF, the British military has made facilities available for American aircraft and weapons since 1940. The US nuclear weapons were deployed at base at the height of the Cold War in 1954, and we are seeing a certain return of times after that. Now, the anticipated move by the US has drawn strong reaction by Moscow, and obviously it comes as no surprise. Russia was definitely not going to be happy with this move. It calls the move a destabilizing practice. Moscow alleges that the move entails joint planning and practice for nuclear attacks on Russian targets. And not just this, Russia demands that the return of all US nuclear weapons to American territory be done right away. Now, this is what the Russian Foreign Ministry had to say about it. If this step is ever made, we would view it as escalation, as a step toward escalation that would take things to a direction that is quite opposite to addressing the pressing issue of pulling all nuclear weapons out of European countries. So, where are the US nuclear weapons still deployed in Europe? Years after the Cold War, you can see on the screen there are 5 nations. We're talking about Belgium, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Turkey, which are still housing American nuclear weapons. The US currently has approximately 100 B-61 gravity bombs deployed in Europe, and these are the last remaining tactical nuclear weapons the United States has. And what about the Russian nuclear weapon sharing? Now, since June this year, Belarus and Russia have claimed deployment of a number of nuclear weapons that are located on Belarusian territory while remaining in Russian possession. Now, this was definitely something that Russia had pulled off as a stern message and a warning to the US and the collective West on the whole. It is not confirmed by the US and NATO that Russia has placed their nukes in Belarus, but this has also raised concern among the Western nations. Now, so definitely tensions are growing between Russia and the collective West. This does not make it any better, does not make it any easier. If US nukes return to UK, Russia will see it as escalation and they're not mincing any words. We will, of course, track all the developments right here on the around.
US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Kiev to be taken capital is this economics as witnessed a gesture of support for Ukraine for World International Development is likely to announce a new package of US wartime assistance. The package is expected to be worth more than $1 billion. Blinken's visit also makes him the first top US official to visit Kiev since the country
शुरू कर
I know by approximately 24 weeks.
Demonstrate
The pilot has also reported that China's weapon has posed a significant threat to international stability and national security of the U.S.
whose progress simultaneously.
which makes it highly challenging.
We want to make sure that Ukraine has
The ability to
not only
unpredictable
to succeed in counteroffensive, but also needs to learn
Although the U.S. is also
how
working
to stand
to have
about
hypersonic
that's
weapons,
best.
not
So
so
that
that
repeating
China
Russian fighters
although this war has left began
When the twist also comes after the trading for an instant image over slammed Western exports and was criticized for the things. Earlier, New York Times and News reports cited US officials who said that the Ukrainian counteroffensive has been too slow and hindered by poor tactics.
follow a predictable
In
trajectory.
recent days, Ukraine has reached one victory more centuries The watertight Russian air attacks continue across Ukraine. Airstrikes near Kiev and Odessa include once more reports of fire and damage. The United States is claiming arms negotiations between Russia and North Korea.
And many early warning systems.
There are actively responsive U.S. national security advisor will be warned that North Korea later withdrawn that his country would pay twice if North Korea supplies arms to the war.
Alright, so this is the big story that we are tracking on fine print now. Kim Jong was declared as the supreme leader of North Korea in December 2011, and within 3 months in neighboring Russia, Vladimir claimed a resounding victory in presidential elections. Granted, Moscow has imposed sanctions against Pyongyang, but over the course of the last decade, there's a lot that has changed. The world has changed. Geopolitics has changed, and friends have changed. This shift in diplomacy is the cover story designed to find
single shot kill probability.
the United States is talking about a possible meeting between Vladimir Putin, the Russian president, and Kim Jong-un. So both Russia and North Korea are pretty far in democracy, but nothing stops murmurs about what this meeting could of course mean if it happens. One thing is certain, the modern Ukraine's force president can reassess its relationship with Pyongyang. There are talks of North Korea providing arms to Russia. The meeting takes place and Putin will of course find himself confronting with a pretty tough negotiator. The Kim Jong-un knows that Moscow is desperate for ammunition. The meeting is expected to take place in Russia's Vladivostok, a port city not far from North Korea. The catwalk is expected to have artillery shells and anti-tank arms. But what is in it for North Korea that would set off so many of its artillery shells and other ammunition? Take it now. Pyongyang has been scarred under sanctions, so desperately needs money and money. Military support for Russia could also be a part of the deal. But experts say that the most worrying request could be about nuclear weapons. North Korea has been spied to master certain key strategic weapons. So Kim Jong-un could go around the Putin for some advanced technology. The Russia has shown apprehensions about this in the past, however, it remains to be seen what that pushed Russia to a certain level of desperation. But there is something for both the nations. And it's too naive to see the external factors that Russia and North Korea being isolated by the West. Both countries are in terms of the cost side, and there are attempts of